From Yarm to Yibby, Harrington to Horsley Hill, Swalwell to Silverlink. The North East Footy Breakfast with Roy, Steve and Ted.
Right across the North East, the Red, the Toon and the Cat.
Good morning, all.
Hello. Oh, Teddy boy.
Good morning.
All fitting well. Good morning. Good morning. Isn't this respectable and nice? So far.
But a feeling it might change after yesterday's result, Ted.
I'm clinging onto my sanity by the fingernails, Steve. I think that's probably the best way to put it.
Caroline, who does early breakfast on the Red, said as sort of labelled today, "Be kind to Ted Day." I think she's feeling a bit sorry for you, Ted.
They beat
I
Cardiff.
know, bless her. She did message me yesterday, but I think the emotions were still a little bit raw for me to reply to anyone.
Oh, bless.
Suffice to say, I even put in our WhatsApp group that we don't talk about, right, you take the show, I've got nothing pleasant to say. But I put my toys back in the pram, It was a strange old weekend, lads. I feel like I haven't spoken to you in ages.
I know.
It's been a while,
It's been a
hasn't
bit of a catch up. Daz and I were just catching up before the show
nice
then.
break.
Yeah, it really has, hasn't it? Yeah,
Yes.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. Steve likes that distance from us.
Well, some people.
And Steve was going to be happy after
over the weekend.
Yeah, what about that result though as well over the weekend?
Great win that. Great win
It wasn't
that.
a great game, but it was a good result. Last 20 minutes were superb. Obviously, we've got our second game tonight, but look, you've got to take it. You just accept it, don't you, when you get a win like that? But it wasn't good for the old ticker lads. To be fair.
No, I can imagine. Great one for the purists, nobody doesn't like seeing it as 7-goal thriller and all that sort of thing, Steve. But you've been mixing it with the great and the good, haven't you? You've been at a cracking venue last night.
Yeah, Ronnie Scott's in London, down to support Adrian Cox, a good friend of mine who launched his album with the Clarinet Fantasy, which has been out for now for the last couple of months, but he did it with a full string section last night, which was fantastic. Wow. 9 of them on stage last night, packed house. Well done, Adrian, fantastic. Meant a late night for me, unfortunately. Wasn't drinking, but had a good trip down, good trip back, no delays. Thank you to L&ER for their wonderful service, and back in the early hours, got back about 2 o'clock, so I've had 4 hours kip, so forgive me if I'm sounding a little bit tired, lads.
Do you know what? You sounded all right, mate. Considering 4 hours sleep, I'd be incapable of speech for that. Right, what you been up to, mate? What's your weekend
mate, we went away with the family and had a bit of a break. I missed the watch along last night, which was the first time. I was just telling Daz it was weirdly refreshing, I guess, just to be able to sit down and watch the Borough game by myself. And I haven't done that in a long time. So
I noticed the positivity on the Borough timeline last night. When I was coming back on the train, people saying how quiet it was, and have to do that more often.
Everyone loved it. Yeah, I guess I'm done. Yeah, I mean, I'm retiring now. If they're all happy that I'm not there.
I'm only joking.
No, it was fair. It was good. It was different. It was a good break though as well. I think after the Socceroos up and back to Sydney, and obviously doing radio 5 days a week and stuff like that, it was good just to have some family time. But I did miss you boys. I really did.
Were you out in the bush?
Yeah,
Sorry?
I was.
Come on, Daz.
What? No. What?
That wasn't as personal a question as it turned out to be. Because obviously we had a go, didn't we, at playing an intricate April Fool's Day prank.
I know.
On the rest of the lads, but not a single bite. For all there was
Fell through. God, it was funny.
The planning and execution was superb, to be honest.
That was
there was
the funniest
engaging a third party to do our Photoshop work. So yeah,
maybe that's where it fell.
I guess we should. I know. It could have been a little bit more well executed with that part, but yeah. The first part of it, I think we had some interesting bites, but once the image was released, I think it was.
Big thanks to Stevie Wonder for attempting the photocopy.
So basically, me and Rye decided it would be fun, in inverted commas, to kind of fake that me and Rye were going to jump stations and go to another station, which shall remain unnamed, but let's be honest, we'd never go and work there anyway. They'd never have us. So we decided we were going to fake it. We were going to go and do drive time instead for another station. I think Dave almost would have had kittens at first, but like Steve said, I think the Photoshop image was probably a little bit too fake, so we didn't quite get away with it in the end. It was a bit of a shame, but yes, it was.
That's panicked though, didn't you? You panicked?
It's like when because I sort of saw it with half an eye open, and. I was like, no, really? Oh, no. So it just, I mean, the other good one we put out across on because we did like a bit of a sort of a best of show yesterday was the painting the transporter red. I don't know if you saw that one.
Yes, I did see that. Yes.
Yeah, we had the guys on from the foundation doing a really good interview. Convincing people that it was definitely happening, and even by the end, I was like, "Hey, I'm quite excited." But hang on, it's not real. It's not real.
Well, we've got some of them coming up actually later on the show. There's a few. The Sunderland Echo have always come up with some absolute belters in the past. One of them caused absolute outrage, but we'll come to that later on in the show as well. We've got quite a lot coming up actually, because we've got 5 games to review. To be honest, one of them, I'm not bothered if we lose one of them.
I'm excited.
Which is becoming obviously a bit of a mantra for our squad as well. A lot's to talk about. It's my 6-month anniversary today, lads, since I started doing this show.
Oh wow!
Oh, it is, yeah.
There you go.
Which is mad, absolutely mad. I can't believe how quickly that time's gone. See how I've grown as a person. There's no what the fact today. There is not.
Oh no!
Gasp horror. Yeah. There's going to be a name that theme. What's the theme?
What do you call it? Name that theme.
Guess
we'll
the
stick
theme?
with that. We'll stick with that.
Name the guess that theme.
Name that. What's that? Gets that theme.
So we have 5 TV themes. Actually, no, we've got 4 TV themes and 1 movie theme for you today. So yes, everyone can join in with that one as well if you want to join in with your guesses. The number, as always, for any of the talking points that we're going to cover today, feel free to ring, text, and keep it clean. Don't send any mucky photos. Is 0330 043 2002. You can do that for any of the points that we'll bring up today. I do want to start though with a little bit of a tribute, lads, and that's because we unfortunately, it's listen. The world is full of these expat fans, and we had one over here who's my Sunderland supporting buddy over here, who we unfortunately lost at the weekend. That's Harry Room. Harry was an ex-Sunderland youth player. Believe it or not, he was playing for I think he played in something like 64 to 67, and then he discovered girls. I'm reliably informed, so that was the end of his Sunderland youth career. He went on to serve his engineering apprenticeship at Doxford's, followed by Merchant Navy, then on to the rigs. Absolute great character. He was one of these, and I know Eddie will probably listen to this as well, who was his buddy who watched the matches with him in the Agritique pub in Ayia Napa. They won't mind me saying that they were like Waldorf and Statler from the Muppet Show. You could hear them moaning and grumbling about Sunderland like the whole game through. And I couldn't help but have a laugh because we won on Friday against Cardiff City, the 2-0 win. And I thought he's got nothing to moan about when he gets to the pearly gates. Well, of course, with yesterday, I'm sure he's making himself comfortable. I'm sure we'll be able to hear Harry from here having a grumble about what was going on. But yeah, absolute great character, lovely, lovely man. Big Sunderland fan. Frawley did a lot of moaning about them, and he's going to be a big miss to everybody in that pub. And Yeah, and in the whole sort of Cyprus scene, I guess it's a shame when you lose one of your own. But yeah, so today's show, lads, if you don't mind, is going to be dedicated to Mr. Harry Room, who's an absolute legend.
Yeah.
And speaking of clubs, should we get on with it? Should we have some updates?
Yeah, let's have some club updates then, shall we?
Smoggies and Proud. Borough News.
Good morning, Borough fans. What an Easter long weekend that was. Even if Middlesbrough falls short, as it looks likely, in their bid to make the Championship top next 6 this season, Michael Carrick believes the players will have benefited enormously from the obstacles they have faced in what's been a challenging year and season. Middlesbrough were unbeaten over the Easter long weekend with a last-minute goal from Latte Lass to earn a point at St Mary's against Southampton, followed then by a dominant performance at home against relegation-threatened Sheffield Wednesday. Goals there from Izzy Jones and an own goal credited for the win. Borough will be without Marcus Force and Riley McGree for the rest of the season. Also, as it was confirmed by Michael Carrick over the weekend that both players' injuries would see them remain sidelined into next season. Some shocking news that. As Borough's season will be obviously looked back on, one dominated by these injuries, with Michael Carrick now unable to have picked from a full squad of players in 0 games this year and last. So a season dominated by injuries, but we are making the most of it. We are mathematically still within playoffs reach. Will it happen? Time will tell. That's your Borough updates.
Magpies and Proud. Mags News.
Newcastle United can confirm the club captain Jamal Lascelles suffered a rupture to the ACL in his right knee during Saturday's victory over West Ham United, and after seeing a specialist consultant, he's expected to undergo surgery next week and will be out for 6 to 9 months. That's a rewrite of the club press release from March the 20th, confirming an ACL rupture. Surgery with 6 to 9 month absence for Sven Botman, and fellow defender Emil Kraft suffered the same injury in August 2022, eventually returning to first team action in November 2023. Everton provide the opposition Eddie Howe side in the Premier League tonight. It's a 7:30 kickoff live on TNT Sports. Gordon is suspended. Jamal Lascelles, as you know now, is out injured. He adds to the list of Tonali, Pope, Wilson, Joelinton, Botman and Miley. There's also injury doubts over Almiron Livramento following Saturday's epic victory over West Ham at St James's Park, while the availability of Trippier and Targett is yet to be determined. And ticket details for the Premier League visit of Sheffield United to Gallagher on Saturday, April 27, 3 o'clock are now available on the website. Member ballot runs from 10 o'clock on Wednesday, April 3rd until 10 o'clock on Friday, April 5th. And ballot winners should be notified by 5 o'clock on Monday, April 8th. That's your ticket news and Newcastle news on the 2nd of April.
Mackem's and Proud. Black Cats News.
Good morning, Sunderland fans. Sunderland captain Luke O'Nien says the players have to take responsibility after their 5-1 defeat against Blackburn at the Stadium of Light, while interim boss Mike Dodds described the performance as completely unacceptable. I had to have a little bit more time after the game to decompress a little bit. Emotions, anger, a lot of emotions were there at the end of it, said O'Nien after the match. People might say it's one to forget. I think it's far from that. I think it's one to remember, one to use and one to motivate, one to never happen again. Of course, that's 2 seasons in a row where we've been beaten 5-1 at home by a relegation-threatened side, so, one to never happen again. Sunderland star Trey Hume is attracting serious transfer interest ahead of this summer's window, according to reports. Sunday Live Sport have stated the Premier League clubs Aston Villa and Bournemouth are interested, alongside Championship clubs Leeds United and Leicester City, with Serie A outfit Napoli also keen. The 22-year-old has cemented himself as a first-team regular for Sunderland since joining the Weirsiders from Linfield in January last year for a small fee of $150,000. There looks to be a nice cheap deal in the offer, however, as Hume signed a new deal with Sunderland last year, which will run out in the summer of 2027 with an option for a further 12 months. And finally, it appears that Kirill Louis-Dreyfus could be looking for some financial help to assist his business ventures, as reporter Alan Nixon has claimed that the Black Cats chief is in talks with a group from the US over a £20 million loan, although he does add that all the funds aren't earmarked for the club. To some outsiders, it would seem strange that Louis-Dreyfus would want to get a loan, as he's thought to have a net worth in the region of $2 billion. But the cash flow situation is unclear, and the fact that all these funds would be going to the club means he obviously has plans for his wider businesses. Plus, this is something that's very common with many clubs in the Premier League, even taking out loans. Even if the majority also have billionaire owners, therefore it's not an update that should particularly worry the Sunderland supporters just yet. They are your Sunderland update.
From Yarm to Yibby, Harrington to Horsley Hill, Swalwell to Silverlink. The North East Footy Breakfast with Roy, Steve and Ted.
Right across the northeast, the red, the tune and the cat.
Yes, so let's start with the post-mortem of the games, I guess. Steve, we'll start with you because you've only played the one game so far, mate. We've already alluded to it. I thought that was an absolutely belting match for the outsider looking in. But anything to worry about other than that nasty injury?
Well, we don't know, do we? Because obviously Eddie Howe's press conference, probably took place after the match, and we've not really heard anything on the update of those other players that went off. Miggy Almiron, of course, limping off, and almost the same kind of situation with Tino Livramento as well, who was clutching his ankle, and it didn't look good on the slow action replays. So we've got big injury concerns going into tonight's game. I mean, I can name you an 11 who won't be playing tonight, which is Nick Pope in goal, Kieran Trippier at right back, Jamal Lascelles and Sven Botman at centre half, potentially Tino Livramento at left back, midfield of Tonali, Miley and Joe Linton, and up front Almiron, Wilson and Gordon. There's your starting 11, lads. 4-3-3 formation, who won't be playing tonight potentially. So it's it's just so disappointing, that our season has been blighted, and that is the right word, blighted by injuries. We didn't play well on Saturday. You can't sugarcoat it. We didn't play well for 70 minutes. Eddie got lucky, and he admitted it in his post-match interview, which I was pleased that he did, because I think there was a feeling of discontent as to why he completely rearranged that back four. When we lost one player, there was no need to do it. It was the injury to Lascelles, which it looked bad to start with, and then Lascelles, as the man with the stretcher started to head towards the pitch, he's waving it away. He got back up. He tried to walk on it. He tried to play on, and then went back down and had to go off. And as soon as I saw what he was doing, which was taking Livramento out to right back, switching him across to left back, putting Byrne into the centre half position, and bringing Kraft on at right back, I groaned. What is he making? What is he making that change for? Because you've already lost one player, but don't unbalance the side. We were doing well. Byrne wasn't up against pace, which of course he does struggle against if he doesn't get the backup off Gordon on the left, and he just he meddled too much with it, and suddenly Newcastle looked completely disjointed and looked out. Things looked out of place, and West Ham took full advantage of that, and it looked like men against boys. And West Ham could smell, could smell it, and they got back in level. They then took the lead, and it really did look as if Newcastle were, potentially going to lose the game, quite comprehensively. We were collapsing like the proverbial pack of cards, and then West Ham go 3-1 up. There was this horrendous incident where, Kudus, tries to get the seat off the ball boy, which was ludicrous. He wanted the ball boy seat to do some kind of celebration. The natives were restless. People were going absolutely mental. Definitely people leaving the ground, which you always seem to get in situations like this. Why people leave, I really don't know. It's a game of football. You're supposed to be there to support your team, and it just looked like doom and gloom. But injuries to Tino Livramento and Miggy Almiron meant that he had to rejig things again. He brought Lewis Hall on, and he brought Harvey Barnes on, and that saves Howe's neck. And got us 3 points. And I mean, that last 20 minutes, I was there the last time this happened when Shearer got his hat trick against Aston Villa, and Newcastle just turned a defeat into a wonderful victory. And a lot of people a lot of people around me just couldn't believe what they've been seeing. I mean, I've been lucky. I've been to those kind of games before. 4-3 against Aston Villa when Shearer got the hat trick. Roy Aitken's debut when Newcastle turned things around to win 5-4. Leeds United away when Nobby Solano got a last-minute winner when we were 3-1 down 1-4-3. Quite incredible turnaround, and I think the thing that really had everyone, scratching their head was exactly to the minute. The goals against West Ham were the same time as the 3 goals that Shearer scored against Aston Villa: 77 minutes, 83 minutes, and 90 minutes to the minute.
Wow!
Amazing little quirk that in the game at the weekend. But yeah, we won 4-3. West Ham were left scratching their heads. David Moyes was left scratching their heads. The only thing he could really complain about was the penalties. He was saying that Gordon had turned into Calvin Phillips, and I've got to give special mention to Calvin Phillips because he was a player that Newcastle were linked with for many months of the 2 transfer windows, the last 2 transfer windows. And he played his part in helping Newcastle secure the win because he was absolutely awful. He was awful. He was caught out of position for one of the goals. He gave away one of the penalties. But he was, genuinely, as we were coming out of the ground and heading back to the bar, me and the lads were saying, we've dodged a bullet with Phillips. I mean, he could well go back to Leeds and be a player, but at the moment he couldn't kick a bag of cement at the weekend. He looked terrible. I'm just glad we didn't get him. But yeah, listen. It was a resurrection over Easter. That's the best way to describe that game. And West Ham genuinely West Ham will probably not go back on the road and score 3 goals and not come away with something. But another special mention to Alexander Isak as well. Superb. Absolutely superb. 18 goals from him this season in an injury blighted season. It has to be said for him again. And he's so cool on penalties. 2 penalties, 2 different goalkeepers, and dispatched them with aplomb, and just got to be happy, lads. I know I don't sound happy with it, but there was so much wrong with that performance. But Newcastle plucked a win out of the jaws of defeat, and we come to tonight's game against relegation threatened Everton with our tails up, but obviously with one eye at 6:30 when Eddie Howe's team sheet gets put in.
Yep, absolutely, mate. Like I say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. You're right to mention Isak as well. He was the standout performer for me. I actually thought he did a good job in almost like a number 10 role. The ball he played through for the winner just split the defence. It was so well weighted. I was really impressed. He's not just about the finishing. I thought he had a cracking game all round as well. So, yep. Coming up, we're going to have Rye next because we need to pick the bones out the Sunderland performance and the message from the fans as well that was being sent to the board. Very, very loud and clear, certainly on the stream I was watching, and of course in the stadium itself in the wake of that 5-1 defeat as well. But coming up, we've got Rye, of course.
From Wickham to Whitley Bay, Stonygate to Shields, Doggy to Darlow Backlane. Steve, Ted and Rye, the North East Footy Breakfast.
Right across the North East, the Red, the Toon and the Cat.
Welcome back. So, yeah, as promised, I suppose we've got to tolerate the Happy Borough fan, haven't we? It's yeah, I know. Yeah, mind you, as Steve rightly pointed out, the fact that you didn't do the watch along and you've got a nice little steady win there, mate. What are you going to do about that?
Well, look, I'm a curse, clearly. I mean, when I don't do a watch along, we get a 2-0 win. When I do rock up, Riley McGree gets a season-ending injury. So, look, I don't know what to do next. I think I'm going to have to choose a new club and move on. I think it's about that time. Nah, April Fools! I ain't going nowhere. What a brilliant Borough weekend that was. Absolutely fantastic. Last-minute header by Latte Lath on Friday. against Southampton, who arguably dominated that game and should have probably come away with 3 points, but wasn't to be. Thank you to Latte Lath and Alex Gilbert there. Sammy Silvera as well coming on and doing a 15-minute cameo after 35,000 kilometres travelled in under a week, it was revealed. 35,000 kilometres he travelled to come to play for the brilliant Australia. Absolutely incredible, that. And then obviously on to yesterday against Sheffield Wednesday. I've done the my private reaction now. I avoided the result to be able to record and watch what's going on, and I'll put that up later, but it was fantastic. And just a dominant performance at home, something you need to show against relegation threatened teams. Everyone said it'd be classic Borough. It'd be classic Borough to go and get a good point against Southampton and then get absolutely smacked by Sheffield Wednesday. But we didn't do it. We didn't do the classic Borough. We actually held on and had a fantastic performance yesterday against Sheffield Wednesday, who are obviously in that relegation scrap. But it mathematically keeps us closer to the playoffs. But I tell you what, it's just our injuries. Our injuries are just absolutely shocking. We cannot catch a break, much like Newcastle just up the road. Middlesbrough now losing Marcus Forss, Riley McGree out for the season. We're not going to see, obviously, Lenahan, Smith, Bangura. You would argue Hayden Hackney and the likes as well are maybe being kept on ice. It's just the story of our season, Dazzy boy, isn't it? All these injuries. But I tell you what, It's time for us to reveal, Daz, yours and I's great plan. It's the Sandalwood boys. We're joining forces. We're going to be the massage team that nobody wants.
The what?
Starting
the what team? Sorry,
the massage boys, the Sandalwood boys. Sandalwood boys.
No. Do it in that accent that you just tried to murder.
The Sandalwood boys. Is that right? Did I do it right? The Sandalwood boys. The Sandalwood boys. We've got your oils and we'll rub you down. No, I can't say that. That's morning breakfast. I apologise. Look, it's absolutely horrendous, the injuries we've had. But Daz and I have got a plan. We're going to go in as the new masseurs team, and we're going to be absolutely fantastic, I think, when we go in and start, working on these boys.
Two languages at the same time.
We are masseurs here to help you. Masseurs here to help you with Sandalwood.
Secret army now.
Or hello.
Yeah.
But fantastic weekend for the Borough. Obviously, 4 points out of 2 games. Keeps us within that playoff reach. Not that I think we're still going to make it, but I still just think to take this into the positives to take from these 2 games into next season are undoubtedly and fantastic. And to do those types of performances with half a squad, oh my goodness, you can't be more happier than that. Can you, Dazzy boy?
Yeah, I mean, I would have taken that before the weekend. That little set of results. We've talked so much, haven't we? Over the last few weeks, there's nothing to play for than a bit of pride and a bit of running towards the end of the season. Playoffs, forget it. Let's not even go there. And the worry was, like you said, Rai. We would thump Southampton and struggle against Wednesday. I thought for us to play as well as we did against Southampton, and and yesterday we certainly could have beaten them by more.
We should have.
Yeah, we should have. Some good performances in there. Izzy Jones, great. Getting the goal. So no, I'm happy with that. That'll do. And a couple more performances like that as we go towards the end of the season.
Agreed.
It's got to keep the spirits going. And give us that push that I think we need at the end of the season to go into the close season with a bit of hope, with a bit more hope than we've had this season.
No, I agree. And the traditional words of Babe, that movie about that pig, that'll do, pig.
That'll do, pig.
I think what else it does for you as well, lads, is obviously you're obviously looking to recruit in the summer. I think that's safe to say that's going to be a top priority for the ownership.
Yeah, Jack Clark and stuff. Yep.
Yes.
You've got no chance, mate. You got more chance of getting Frank Clark.
Frank Spencer.
Yeah, maybe. To be honest, the better you do in this close season, I think it is going to be a bit of a stretch to get the playoffs now. Although you never write it off, because there's always somebody makes that late charge. It's either Coventry or it's you, or in times gone by it's been Blackpool and the likes of them, just making that late burst. So you can't rule it out. However, you get to the fringes of playoffs, and that makes Middlesbrough, an exciting place for a player to look at as far as a potential transfer is concerned. Whereas obviously us at this moment in time, that's a slightly different story altogether. But yeah, should we get on?
Do we want to get into it? I mean, I think we should.
On,
I mean, Daz, just before we do, how did Borough go against Blackburn just before that international break? Was it 0-0? I think it was 0-0. Anyway, how did you go, Ted?
Slightly worse than that. Let's talk about the Cardiff game.
Slightly worse.
That
was a shock for me. I was very. You could score. How about it?
Yeah.
I mentioned Harry at the top of the show. I think that was Harry having a bit of a hand in that one. To be honest, mate, I think that was more just it was a fluke, a complete fluke.
Joe?
That result came out of nowhere. I think Cardiff had an absolute stinker on the day. Much as we played a lot better. But, you go and get a useful 2-0 win. Yep, Job had a good game. There was a few good performances there. I thought Riggy was excellent. I thought young Chris Rigg, at 16-year-old, ran the midfield. I thought he was brilliant. I really do. But, yeah, so you fast forward 48 hours later, and Mike Dodds decides that he's going to completely ring the changes in the squad, and Patrick Roberts comes back in, and Dax on the bench with slightly less hair now. He just needs to let go and shave that off, honestly. But yeah, yesterday, the first 10 minutes, so I started watching the game. As you know, I go through my official stream and all that kind of thing. Watching the game, first 10 minutes, I turned around to Mrs. Ted and I went, you know what, they're playing all right. And I was kind of thinking, I had a couple of attempts on goal. I'm thinking, there was signs there. I thought, continue where we left off. And I was a bit cautious after the Cardiff game. I didn't celebrate it that well, and I actually said to you, Rye, I said, I'm actually in shock that we managed the win. I don't trust it when Sunderland win a game now, and I was justified in that, to be honest.
You were 100% correct.
Yeah, I mean, it was just lazy defending again, and it's. Excuse me. It's to leave somebody like Smodics relatively unmarked and kind of give him the freedom.
Yeah, you can't do that.
The two of the easiest goals, mind you, he took them extremely well, especially the first one. He did finish very, very well. I'll give that to the lad, but you cannot give him that much freedom, and it was just, it was gutless. And I'm looking at the lads on the pitch, and Roberts did not have a good start, and I'm not going to be down on Paddy Roberts because he's just back from injury. I think he was rushed back far too early. I think that the club has to have a serious look at Mike Dodds over this. And, ultimately they have to have a look at Speakman as well. I mean, enough of the game. Look, the score tells you everything you need to know. In essence, I think it could have been more to Blackburn. I think we got away with a 5-1 to a large extent. Riggy came on and he was the only one who really looked a threat, who looked like he wanted to get stuck in. Pierre Ekwa, all 6'2", 6'3" of him, it just looks like he's made of Watsits. He's just. I've never known somebody so heartless in terms of going into a challenge. He's a bottler. In fact, around that pitch, bar Riggy, I would say a whole lot of them were absolute bottlers yesterday.
Whoa.
It was a disgusting performance. It really was. But then you look at the sideline and you see Mike Dodds going over to Michael Proctor to kind of get some, what do we do? I think this is at 4-0 down. And you've got Proctor just looking at him and giving him a nonchalant shrug of the shoulders like Alan Partridge. You're just thinking,
that.
What on earth? They're just like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. And that's what it comes across like, the pair of them. There was, he's standing there pacing up and down in his technical area, Dodds, just doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. Then at 4-0 down, you bring Jack Clark on. And why risk him?
Yeah.
Why risk him at 4-0 down?
Yeah.
It's just ludicrous. Absolute tin pot management. I was going to say something else there. I had to very quickly edit that. It was awful. It was absolutely just awful. The sack the board messages, I'm not surprised. And to be honest, it's worrying. I mean, I mentioned in the updates that Kira Louis-Dreyfus is looking to take out a £20 million loan. This is the guy who's worth $2 billion, apparently. All right, cash flow is cash flow, but sorry, but there's a rabbit away here. We're not going to spend money. We won't be spending money next season. If we don't spend money, we are going to be in a relegation battle, because that squad with that coaching around it isn't good enough. It really isn't, and we're going to lose players out of that. I mentioned about Trey Hume. I've mentioned previously about Dan Ballard. He's got interested parties as well. You've got Jack Clark, who is almost definitely going to go. A Premier League club is going to take a punt on Job just to see if he turns out anywhere near as good as his brother. We could be in dire straits this time next season. Absolutely dire straits. Because we haven't got a squad that's capable, and we don't look like we've got ownership or any kind of structure that is capable of running the club to the standard that it should be done. And to be honest, you're left with about 10,000 people in the stadium on the 89th minute from a reported 42,000. Give me a break with that. Yeah, exactly. It's poor, lads. It is really, really poor. It almost ruined the weekend. Almost, but not quite. But yeah. I mean, I'll come back to the
second win against Cardiff, though, right? Good win against Cardiff.
Oh, fantastic. Great.
That was
but you got to back it up.
Like you said. Yeah, true, yeah.
You can't go and turn out a decent performance like that, right? And then completely change the team as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunately Callum Styles looks like the sort of loan player that you sign when you know you're going to be heading towards League One the next season.
Okay, yeah.
That's we've signed a League One player on loan. What is that about?
Yeah.
Is that elite sporting philosophy that you're trying to put in there, Mr. Speakman? Is it? It's an absolute joke. Honestly, for me, I'm with those fans already. I know I said it online yesterday, and I wasn't very popular for it, but clear off the lot of you. Honestly, from Kira Louis-Dreyfus, Speakman, the whole lot,
Ted.
The whole poison little Sunderland mafia that's going on there now, clear off.
Get out.
Because they've not got the bottle, they've not got the resources clearly to actually take the club to the level that it should be at. It should be, because the facilities are absolutely tremendous. That's nothing to do with Kira Louis-Dreyfus. He didn't build it. We need to get out there and look for somebody who can actually accept the challenge and take us on to where we want to be. You know, we're looking at Ipswich being envy of Ipswich. I mean, it's crazy, lads. Absolutely crazy. But anyway, I've rattled on too much. We'll more to come, of course. We've got Name That Theme coming up shortly.
We have.
We're going to talk April Fool's Day. We're also going to talk Blanche's birthday, lads.
Oh, Blanche's
Coronation
birthday.
Street.
Not quite.
From Yarm to Yibby, Harrington to Horsley Hill, Swarwell to Silverlink. The North East Footy Breakfast with Roy, Steve and Ted.
Right across the northeast, the red, the tune and the cat.
And we're back, and we've had a couple of WhatsApp messages in. You can get in touch with the show at any point. 0330 043 2002. A couple of messages in this morning. Let me just have a look here. Who's this? Matty. Morning, lads. Cheer up, Ted. We've all had goal thrillers this Easter weekend, but in all seriousness, what is it with announcing inflated attendance numbers? What is it going on when you have a good team? I'm going for 4-1 for Newcastle tonight, Steve. So there you go. Ooh. Another must-win game. Everton have lost 12 games, their worst run since Walker was their manager in the 90s. How are the lads? What else we got there?
Is that Matty, the Doctor Who Matty?
I watched that.
Did you?
I watched one episode. Yep.
Yes, it is. At the beach yesterday. It is.
I'm really confused.
Yeah, that's how it works. Right.
I love the fact that you're looking through his message going down, down.
Barry's been in touch as well on
Change
the
his
WhatsApp.
name in the system.
Morning, Barry.
Barry.
Is the new rumour for today Frank Clark set to sign for the Smoggies? When people just tune in at a certain point and go, what was that? What was that? What did they just say? How high can my voice get?
I tell you what, in his day, you would have taken him.
Frank Clark. And how Jack's been in touch. Morning, lads.
Morning, Jackie.
Morning, Jack.
I hope you all had a great Easter. I'm absolutely hanging this morning, he said. I hope you can help me get through. So I must have been celebrating
Well done.
Yeah, a nice bank holiday there. So you can get in touch at any point. 0330 043 2002.
Thank you very much, Daz. Should we have a little game?
Yes.
I didn't mean
Yeah,
that to
of
sound
course.
like so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's play a game.
Yeah. So,
Time to play a game.
WWE.
okay.
Who on earth
What
was
is he,
that?
a pirate?
Oh, Triple H. You guys don't know that one? Come on, WWE.
We do know it, but not when it's projected as badly as that.
Guess the Australian pirate name? I don't know. Should we just have a game of what's the theme instead?
Go on.
Let's do it.
Okay. Ladies and
One of the
gentlemen.
themes.
Oh, you've spoiled it. Oh,
Oh, Ted.
Teddy boy.
Ted. You can't do that.
I can only apologise.
Sorry, we'll cut it out when it
Ted.
goes
Can
live.
we
All right.
pretend that didn't happen?
Yeah, okay, yeah. Here we
Restart it.
go. Jack said, is it Mario Balotelli?
Yes. Please.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Name That Theme. Wasn't really worth it, was it? Really?
No, it's good.
A little bit disappointed in the end.
Yeah, I have that
I
effect.
must say, Daz, you're doing a fantastic job from the red Toon and Cat helicopter above the traffic today. By the way, pushing the buttons from live in the skies, Daz boy, today. Really, yeah, you live in the skies, mate.
Yeah, I'm in a helicopter from the 70s, apparently.
Mash.
All right. I'm doing the best I can with the tools I've got, mate. I've sang you the Doctor Who theme. Now you want a professional helicopter? Yeah. Dear me. Let's have that first theme then, mate.
Okay, so how are we going to play this then, Ted? Are we shouting out? Are we what? How would you like to play?
Yeah. We'll have shouting out. Oh no, we'll go around the table. Feel
Round
free
the
to
table,
WhatsApp in
alright.
as well, of course.
Round the table.
Okay, so here you go. Here's theme number 1.
People of a certain generation are absolutely losing it right
Yep.
now. Oh
Yep.
my god.
Yep. I know it.
No, you don't.
It's Doctor Who.
You definitely don't know this one.
I watched
But
one.
there is one for you. So
There better
let's
be.
start. We'll start with Rye.
Yes.
Let's see if you can have a little
Doctor
guess
Who.
at this one, mate.
Doctor Who. Easy. Make him harder next
Definitely
time.
not.
That's Doctor Who.
Now on to a man
That's
who
Doctor Who.
might get it. Steve.
Nah,
you
it's a
trying to
difficult
say?
one. That it's in the same kind of era as Tales of the Unexpected, but it's not like it's not Tales of the Unexpected.
You're right, and weirdly, I almost chose that.
It's a great tune, like.
It is. Proper old school TV theme.
Obviously, if you want to play along at home, you can message us in 0330 043 2002. And it's not Mario Balotelli.
Daz already knows this one.
It's I don't know, like it's a bit like the no.
I'll give you a clue.
Survivors.
There was a rerun of the not a rerun. There was a rehash of this TV show with Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer.
Oh.
Yes, there was, yeah.
Come on then, Borough fans, you should know this.
Well, we've had a few guesses in. Scooby-Doo. No.
Right?
No, I know that one.
Matty said Blake 7. I mean, if it was Blake 7, he'd have got that straight away, man. I know, that's just wrong
Matty
there,
throwing
Matty.
shade.
Aye.
That Scooby-Doo impression was spot on, by the way. I'm not letting that
Really?
slide. That was fantastic. That was bang on.
Thanks, man.
I thought he was here on the radio with this.
I don't know.
Now you lost it.
Sorry. But Barry has got the right answer.
Oh, go on, Barry.
Has he really?
He has,
Go
yeah.
on, Barry.
Go on, Baz.
Bring us
Randall
home.
and Hopkirk deceased.
That's
Superb
it.
work.
Yeah,
Superb
Well
work.
done, son.
Daz,
Well
let's
done.
have the second one, but remember, we can only have the first 15 seconds of this one.
Okie dokie.
This is one that Rye might get.
Yeah, perfect. Love this one. I got it straight away. Can I nail it? It's round the twist. It's round the twist. Have you ever felt like this?
There you
When
go.
strange things happen, going round the twist. Oh, coming home to
Why
a
is it
Vegemite
you can
sandwich
sing
without
an Australian TV theme, but you murder everything else? That's bizarre what you just did there.
Yes.
How?
That was beautiful.
We'll have
That's a great show.
We'll have a third one before we'll move on to more guff, lads. Come on,
Okie
then.
dokie.
Let's have the third one.
Who's that who just guessed Sapphire and Steel? Barry's just guessed Sapphire and Steel. Great show, lads, he
Dear
said as
me.
well. Jack's jumped in with Round the Twist. I think he said that after you said it, though.
Yes. Jack's good. He's all right. He wouldn't cheat like Ray.
All right, so here we go. This is the third in our Name That Theme this morning.
Hey baby, I hear the blues are calling. Toss
I know it. I know it. I know it. I know it. I know
Don't
it.
shout
I
it
know
out
it.
yet.
Fraser.
Don't shout. No.
Baby, I seem a bit confused.
Seriously, don't shout it out.
Yeah, maybe, but I got you pegged.
Really?
But I don't know what to do with those tossed
I
salads.
said go for it.
I said, don't shout it out.
He said, don't shout it out.
Calling
Oh,
again.
whoops. I mean, I thought you said don't.
Don't tell him, Pike.
Yeah, so we...
Sorry, Steve.
wonder what it
That
is.
was meant to be your bash at that one,
I'm
mate.
sorry.
Oh, it's
I wonder what
okay.
it was. I wonder what it was.
Right, let's have the fourth one.
Could've been
Daz, I'll
anything,
find you. I'll find you another one, mate. I'll find you another one. Let's move on to the fourth one.
Okay, well-
do not shout
So
this
shout
out,
them out.
Rye.
So Barry...
Don't
Do
shout
not
them out.
shout them out.
Barry's just been back on. Great show, lads. I listen to you always from Kent. So Barry's all the way down from Kent.
Thanks,
You're
Ben.
Thank
very
you, Barry.
welcome.
Lovely part of the world.
Yeah, Jack's got Fraser in there as well. Yeah, so right. So we're
Don't
doing
shout
one
it
more.
out, Jack. Come on, mate.
We're doing one more. Right, okay. Right. You can play along at home as well. 0330 043 2002. Don't shout this one out though. Okay.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart
The
is
silence is
true. You're
deafening.
Yep.
proud
No, I know it. I'm just not shouting it out.
All right.
and you threw a party. Invited everyone. You were
Sounds like Cartman, doesn't he? Out of South Park.
Thank you for
Being a So there you go.
Wow. I can only apologise for all of that as well. Yeah, so, Steve, let's start with you.
It's the Golden Girls.
It certainly is. It certainly is. That's a belter. And do you know why I've chosen that one, lads?
Because we're your golden girls.
That's a horrifying mental image that I want to be bleached out of my brain right away.
Very Les Dawson and Dick Emery there.
Yes.
You are awful, but I like you. What's with the impressions today? Honestly, we're on fire, lads. Anyway,
nailed 'em.
no, I chose Golden Girls for a very specific reason. I did mention it's Blanche's birthday today, lads. Now, we've probably got people tuning into the show, maybe for the first time, who's going, who is Blanche?
Yes.
Blanche is my 5-year-old Russian blue cat. She's not actually blue; she's grey. It's obviously, you know, it's just what they're called. Anybody who has got a blue cat, I really do want to see it. But there we go. Yeah, so it's Blanche's birthday. 5 years old. I've had her. She was 18 months. She was a stray when I got her. Very much the lady of the manor now. Sits pride of place right next to me for most of the shows. Obviously, it's her birthday today, so she must be having cat treats and all that sort of thing. So, Pets Corner today. Tell us about your pets. Who listens to the show with you? Obviously, please feel free to send in pictures, because I will look at pictures of people's animals and pets all day long. That's no problem at all. 0330 043 2002 if you want to send in your pet pics. But Steve, I was actually shocked to find out Steve is a cat owner.
He is?
Right.
Yeah.
Why was that a shock?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
What were you
I think
expecting?
it's because of the whole. Obviously, you've done gangster movies and all that sort of thing. Former nightclub bouncer and all that sort of thing. I'm thinking like, it's a staffy. He's got to have a staffy or something like that.
Or a zebra.
No.
Wow.
No, you're borderline Bond villain with a cat. I was quite shocked, but
villain.
you kind of came across the cat in a bit of a weird circumstance. It wasn't yours to start.
I've always had cats, mate. I've always had cats.
Have you really?
Yeah, I did have a dog years ago when I was a kid at home, and I had a dog when I first moved out when I was 21, which is like 30 odd years ago. But other than that, nah. It's I've always been more interested in cats. Cats look after themselves. I think I've never had time to go out and walk a dog. It's unfair to own a dog if you can't go out and walk it. You've now got the additional problem of having to like scoop up its, business and stick it into a bag, which never really appeals to me. So for me personally, having a cat's it's a lot easier. And they are quite loving animals, to be fair.
On their terms,
they're very manipulative. Yeah, but they've all got different. Like dogs, they've all got different characters. All got different characters. Me last cat. Had a long life as well. It was age 17 when it passed away in human years. So that did quite well. And
almost
then this other cat just walked into our garden one day and it seemed to be getting fed off all the neighbours, but it came into our garden just a couple of weeks after our cat had died, and it's we knew who its owner was. The owner up the street had 5 or 6 other cats. And it was clearly the runt of the litter, if you like. It was clearly getting, not getting any of the food from the bowl and that kind of thing, getting bullied. And she kept coming back to our house. And it was almost as if she walked into our life because she knew that we'd just lost the cat. And the missus had said, "We're not having a cat. We're gonna, it's the heartache when you lose one." But this cat Nala came into our lives, black and white cat, of course, and she stayed. We spoke to the owners up the street. They said, "Well, we can't stop it coming back. We're quite happy for you to take it if you can get the cat chipped," because it was only a kitten at the time. And we got it chipped, and the rest's history. So Nala's been part of our family for the last few years. So they are very nice animals. There's no doubt about it. Cats are nice animals, and they're a lot of fun. But you've got to play with cats as well. They do need the hunting. They do need the hunting techniques. Tested each day, and as they get older, obviously they get a bit lazier. But they're always Nala's always up for a bit of play as well. But she's very astute. She gets around. She goes out and does a couple of hours hunting a day, then comes back, sleeps, and she's got a routine. But great character.
Lovely. Rye, have you got any?
I had a dog, but remember, I don't know if were you on the show. We lost him like late last year, so we had a dog called Rocky. He was a beagle. I've never been a cat man, but I've always been a dog man, and we had a beagle cross border collie that I had for 10 years, but unfortunately, thanks to the beagle in him, he had epilepsy. So he'd have fits. He had one when he was first like 6 or something like that, and then and they were saying, look, he's probably just going to keep having them because it's the beagle sort of thing in him. And then late last year, he had another fit, which was just out of the blue, and it took him. So still to this day, it chokes me up, and I hate it. But I'm desperate to get another dog now that we've moved into the new place and stuff like that. So can't see it being too far down the line that I won't have another 4-legged. But definitely a dog person, not a cat person. I don't know. Cat's just too personality for me. I just don't like that it goes out and wanders around and then comes back. And I don't like when they verse Blackburn and stuff like that. They just never show up. So I just don't really. I've just always been a dog person.
I know we've got to go into the news, but I will tell you this. I don't know whether I ever told you this story, but obviously the star over here is Stelios, my ginger cat. who I don't know whether you heard him today. I can hear him being told off for meowing at the door, but yeah, he's. I've had to play with the mic settings to get him to shut up a little bit, but yeah, I mean, he's a bit annoying. But I had to take him to the vets about a year and a half ago. My missus had been away on holiday with her best friend. She'd come back. Stelios was acting a little bit like out of sorts and like, you know, a bit moody and a bit meowy and all this sort of thing. Yeah. And I'm thinking, oh God, he might be ill. So we took him to the vets and blood tests and all this sort of thing and kept him in. And basically it comes round to it now. And the vet told us that, yeah, he's suffering from anxiety issues.
No way. Are you really serious?
I've got
him a CAT scan.
My freeloading little cat that does nothing all day apparently has some sort of anxiety that cost me €90 to find out. So honestly,
he's probably
I'm the one who's anxious. Well, yeah, true. No, well, he's orange, so he's Blackpool apparently, like his mum.
Oh, so. Is he? There you go.
Anyway, enough of that guff. Keep the pet pics coming in if you can, though, and we'll catch you on the other side of this. I always feel that's...
Sorry.
I feel like I'm Alan Partridge coming out with that, because that's another one of those, like, nonsense songs, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? The lyrics absolutely make no sense whatsoever.
Is it you all look like your daddy? Is that what I heard?
And you all have your daddy's
eyes. Haven't I? Oh, your daddy's eyes. Oh.
Better than having the milkman's eyes, I suppose. Like,
I guess, yeah, I mean, true.
Anyway, welcome back. Second hour. Loads still to come up. Not just talking about the cat's birthday and that sort of thing. One thing I want to talk about later on, lads, is holidays. I know we've had a little break already, but we're approaching the end of the season. The players will have an eye on their holidays. I think half of Sunderland's squad are already on the beach, to be honest. There you go.
We've got flip-flops on.
Absolutely. Well, they certainly played like they did, Steve, but there you go. They certainly did. Yeah, so we've got that. We've obviously got a preview to do for tonight's game as well. Obviously, Newcastle play tonight.
Oh, I better write that.
Oh yeah, because you struggle to talk about Newcastle, Steve. Yeah. Sorry, I should have given you more time. I didn't realise. That was said with love. It was said with love. I'm just still shocked that you've always been a cat man. That's like sort of. Oh, he's really sensitive, really, isn't he? Loads to come.
Don't be getting that secret out there.
Oh. The what?
Don't be getting that secret out there.
Well, he's really sensitive. He's a creative type. We've seen poetry from him. He's acting, and
I know
it's nothing wrong with that. Modern man, I like it. Very
he
good.
Laughs at it, but he wants to cuddle me when I get over there. I know it. I can feel it in his voice.
Hey Ted,
I've had a Steve hug.
Ted, I noticed over the weekend there was a picture of Mrs. Ted on social media. You were out for a bit of food, and obviously I saw.
I'm punching, aren't I?
Yeah, I saw the picture and I thought, boxing did come to mind. Because blimey, that's you're punching way above there, mate. I mean,
I think Ted's good looking.
I know, I am. I was better a few years ago, but then I got Mrs. Ted then, so
it was those curtains.
Yes, he's still talking about my interior design. I don't think.
No, I wasn't.
You were a fit trumpet player.
He can really throw a lounge together. His patter's crap, but my God, he can choose a carpet.
Yes.
No, it's our birthday next Tuesday.
It looks like a lovely meal you were having. Yeah.
Oh, do you know
who's
what?
Who's the favourite on the show, Ted?
Wait, me, obviously. It's got to be. Yeah. No, she does listen to the show, actually. She does enjoy it. She really enjoyed the interviews, actually. She listened to all of them. She listened to mine as well, which I was quite surprised about.
Listen, like we used to listen to Night Owls when we were kids, and listens to it at bedtime when she wants to go to sleep.
Wait, to be fair, she works night shift, Steve, so you're not wrong, actually. So literally, she's just come back in from work there in the last hour or so. No. And so she'll be off to sleep. I'm sure she's probably listening to the show. But yes,
the
birthday
Brekky
next
show that
week.
puts you to sleep.
Yes, yes, exactly. That's not what we want the marketing to be, right?
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, it's weird. She's kind of on Australian time for you, right? I suppose. It's a bit of a strange one, but
well, it's changed this week. Your daylight savings thrown me out this week.
Clocks went forward at the weekend, but
they did.
It's starting already here in Cyprus. It's like it's going mad with tourists, and it's really starting to pick up. Obviously, we'll approach that in the holiday theme a little bit.
Can we just confirm something though? Can we? Because we've never used the words daylight savings over here in the UK, have we? You know, it's always been the clocks going back and forward and stuff. And whether it's an American thing or an Aussie thing, daylight savings, it just sounds wrong.
It's weird.
It's a weird expression, daylight savings.
Yeah. That's why we have it. The expression from us is that we get the extra daylight to be able to get in the garden and have a barbecue. That's exactly how the government described it to us. So, an extra hour for your gardening and barbecue. Get out there, enjoy your daylight savings. Love the government. That's how they'd say it. Exactly.
You know what? That's almost very Cypriot as well, because straight away, I mean, literally over the weekend, the smell of barbecues here was just absolutely incredible. Obviously, first time we've got really good weather. It's we're coming out of those couple of rainy weeks and months that we get. It's just absolutely glorious. Sat on the beach in 29 degrees over the weekend. It was just absolutely beautiful.
Great invite.
Absolutely beautiful.
Well, we had a bit of sunshine over here in the UK. And then it absolutely tanked down yesterday. But yeah, we had a bit of sunshine. I mean, it wasn't 29.
It was a wet Riverside yesterday.
Yeah,
for sure. My goodness me.
It did. The weather did nothing for the spirits of the game as well, like at the Stadium of Light either. But there we go. Yeah. Speaking of which, should we have some club updates, lads?
Yeah, let's do that.
Smoggies and Proud. Borough News.
Good morning, you beautiful Borough fans, the best fans in the land and the world. We are the top Northeast club this weekend. I don't care what anyone says. Even if Middlesbrough falls short, as it looks likely in their bid to make the championship top 6 this season, Michael Carrick said he believes his players would have benefited enormously from the obstacles we have had to face this year in a challenging year. Middlesbrough were unbeaten over the Easter long weekend with a last-minute goal from Latte Lath to earn a point at St Mary's against Southampton, followed then by a dominant performance at home at the Riverside against relegation-threatened Sheffield Wednesday, an own goal and a goal credited to Izzy Jones there. Borough will be without Marcus Force and Riley McGree for the rest of the season, as it was confirmed by Michael Carrick that both players' injuries would see them remain sidelined into next season. Riley McGree and Marcus Force getting scans late last week. And Borough's season will be looked at back at one dominated by injuries. Michael Carrick talking about how he has not had a full squad to pick from in any game this season. My goodness me. So Borough learning from their difficulties, still getting points on the board. What a club we are. What an area we are. Up the Borough. That's your updates.
Magpies and Proud. Mags News.
Newcastle United can confirm that club captain Jamal Lascelles suffered a rupture to his ACL in his right knee during Saturday's victory over West Ham United. After seeing a specialist consultant, he's expected to undergo surgery this week and he'll be out for 6 to 9 months. That, of course, is a rewrite of the club press release from March the 20th, confirming an ACL rupture and surgery with 6 to 9 month absence for Sven Botman. Emil Kraft suffered the same injury in August 22, eventually returning to first-team action in November 23. Everton provide the opposition to Eddie Howe's side in the Premier League tonight. It's a 7:30 kick-off. It's live on TNT Sports. As I've already mentioned, Jamal Lascelles is the latest addition to the missing list. Anthony Gordon is suspended. And Tonali, Pope, Wilson, Joelinton, Botman and Miley all missing. There's injury doubts over Almiron and Livramento following our win over West Ham. Trippier and Matt Target is yet to be determined whether they are going to be available. And ticket details for the Premier League visit of Sheffield United are now released. It'll be on Saturday, April the 27th, 3 o'clock kickoff. The ballot runs from 10 o'clock on Wednesday to 10 o'clock on Friday, and ballot winners will be notified by Monday. Ticket resale and forwarding for season ticket holders is live from Tuesday, April the 9th at 10 o'clock, with members able to purchase any resale tickets from 10 on Wednesday, April the 10th. That's in Newcastle headlines on Tuesday the 2nd of April.
Mackem's and Proud. Black Cats News.
Good morning, Sunderland fans. Sunderland captain Luke O'Nien says the players have to take responsibility after their 5-1 defeat against Blackburn at the Stadium of Light. I had to have a little bit of time after the game to decompress a little bit. Emotions, anger, a lot of emotions were there at the end of it, said O'Nien after the match. People say it's one to forget. I think it's far from that. I think it's one to remember, one to use, one to motivate, one to never happen again. £8 million rated Sunderland star Trey Hume is attracting serious transfer window ahead of the summer, according to reports. Press reports have stated the Premier League clubs Aston Villa, Bournemouth are interested alongside Championship clubs Leeds United and Leicester City, with Serie A outfit Napoli also keen. And finally, it appears KLD could be looking for some financial help to assist his business ventures, as reporter Alan Nixon has claimed that the Black Cats chief is in talks with a group from the US over a £20 million loan, although he does add that all funds aren't earmarked for the club. It would seem strange that Louis Dreyfus would want to get a loan, as he's thought to have a net worth in the region of £2 billion, but the cash flow situation is unclear, and the fact that all these funds wouldn't be going to the club means he obviously has plans for his wider business. There are your updates.
From Yarm to Yibby, Harrington to Horsley Hill, Swalwell to Silverlink, the North East Footy Breakfast with Roy, Steve and Ted.
Right across the northeast, the red, the tune and the cat.
I just
Welcome
found the biggest
back.
hair in my coffee. Like,
What?
it is huge. The biggest hair. Living with 3 girls, I've got the biggest hair in my coffee. My goodness, that cat.
Not like
that
a
was
rabbit's
meter.
hair, then.
No. This thing, it's still going.
It's not
Who's to
mine,
blame
right?
for that? Is that the missus?
Yeah. One of them. They've all got long hair. Although I guess the 4-month-old doesn't.
I was going
One of you's out there.
to
Jeez,
say,
look at this.
surely no kid is born with long hair. That would
Wow.
just look bizarre on a newborn.
Comes out with that John Bovey look. Imagine that. Although our daughter,
John Bovey?
our former
Yeah.
John Bovey.
He's a tribute
John
act.
Bovey, is what I call him.
Hang on.
He's
Like
down
Bon
at the local
Jovi.
RSL Saturdays and Sundays. Oh, Bon Jovi. You know, guys. You know him.
Wow, John Bovey.
John Bovey.
That sounds like a ridiculous. I mean, I probably have seen. Who was the who was the Elvis impersonator in Newcastle? It was Jarrett Elvis.
Jarrett Elvis, yeah.
Remember him? That was class. That. Tell you what, some of the, I know we're going off topic here, like, but I don't care. I'm doing it anyway.
We always
Never stopped you.
Well, yeah, we'll have a few more of these coming in as well. I know we're going to do a traffic update, but this is gold. So I once saw a Led Zeppelin tribute band that did Led Zeppelin covers,
Yeah.
but in the style of reggae, and they were called Dread Zeppelin.
Oh, wow.
Which I think is just one of the
that's
most
brilliant,
fantastic things ever. So yeah, if you can, yeah, well, let's have your cover band names. 0330 043 2002. This wasn't planned at all, but it was too good an opportunity. Thanks to
Yes.
John Bovey. But anyway, over to Daz in the in the Daz copter.
live in the skies.
From Wickham to Whitley Bay, Stonygate to Shields, Doggy to Darlow Backlane, Steve, Ted and Rye, the North East Footy Breakfast.
Right across the northeast, the red, the tune and the cat.
And you can get in touch with the North East Footy Brekky at any point via our WhatsApp. We'd love to hear from you this morning. It is Tuesday morning, and I don't know about you, but I'm all over with me days. You know, all it takes is one bank holiday, and it's a bit weird.
Chaos, isn't it?
Yeah, so it is Tuesday morning. 0330 043 2002. Thank you so much to Matty, our friend Matty, who sent a gorgeous picture of his dog this morning, looking right down the camera. I shared that with the lads, and he's also for Steve. Here's a list of the up-and-coming Doctor Who episode names. Now let me have a look, see if I can see these.
Why is it just for Steve?
Yeah. You stop listening, you.
Hang on, Matty. I'm a fan as well, you know.
So we've got Space Babies. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Boom. The Devil's Cord. 73 yards.
Isn't that something you have after a curry?
Come on.
Well,
People
go
are
on.
eating their breakfast.
73 yards. Dot and Bubble. Rogue.
This is definitely what you've had after a curry.
That's closer.
Rogue.
Yep.
Is that The Legend of Ruby Sunday? And finally, the last episode of this series is called Empire of Death. Dun, dun, dun.
Jeez, that one sounds good.
I think Russell T Davies has written most of them, hasn't he?
Right.
But I think there's a couple of episodes I'm interested in watching are the ones that haven't been written by Russell T Davies. So Boom has been written by Stephen Moffat, I think.
All right,
and
All right.
Rogue is written by Kate Herron. So a bit like Blake 7, when somebody else gets their hands on the script, it's always interesting. And it was always difficult with Blake 7 because you're writing for numerous characters, you're writing for 7 other people, and to try and keep them all relevant within scripts and stories is very difficult. But especially when you're doing 13 episodes. But for me personally, those are the 2 episodes I'm looking forward to because they're not written by Russell T Davies.
Yeah.
Very good. We've also
And the agent is still waiting by the phone, Matt.
Yep.
As is mine.
Yep.
I don't have one, but I'll find one.
Barry's been back in touch. You know, remember Barry from Sapphire and Steel earlier was listening down from Kent. Steve, as an NUFC fan, do you think a win tonight and we'll catch Man United?
Oh, God. After the performance I saw at the weekend, anything's possible. Especially with Jordan Pickford in goal. And this is the big thing with Pickford. This is his Achilles heel. Because if he gets caught up with all the banter between the crowd and himself, he switches off. And he's had some absolute nightmare performances at St James's Park because he gets sucked in and he can't help it. He likes winding us up as much as we like winding him up. So
Yeah, he does.
Inflatable dinosaurs will be in attendance. There'll be people with Tyrannosaurus Rex heads on, I'm sure. There'll be the odd seagull in the crowd. It's the way it works between us and Pickford, I'm afraid. I think that's the key. If Pickford has a man of the match performance, they might go away with something. But I've got to be honest, I'm expecting a win tonight. I'm not expecting Newcastle to go into this game and not get 3 points. But will it be pretty? Will it be entertaining? Will there be goals galore? I think the latter probably. But
Will it be pretty? Will there be goals galore? You'll have to wait and see.
Oh, it's chips. It's chips. I honestly got the same feeling. I thought, is Steve working this into like a musical number? That's what you should do next. I want to see you in a musical, Steve.
Yeah.
Done one a few years, many years ago. Kiss Me, Kate.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I played
Did you
the gangster.
really?
I played the gangster. I did brush
of
up your
course.
Shakespeare.
Of course, yeah.
I did the panto.
No, you didn't.
Oh yes, I did.
What's your favourite gangster movie of all time, Steve?
Oh,
Have you ever
it's
told
gotta
us that?
Got to be Goodfellas, mate. Goodfellas,
Goodfellas?
yeah.
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 Yeah,
I'm
superb.
watching The Gentleman later on. I've never seen it, and don't hate me. I've never seen it. But The Gentleman. You guys know
it's
that
good.
one?
We started it over the weekend.
Yeah, it's only new
We
out, isn't it?
absolutely love it.
I watched the
There's a
first
new TV
episode.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen the TV series, but I also haven't seen the movie. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So I've got to watch the movie first.
It's a
'cause
movie?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Hugh Grant one,
It's a
right?
Guy Ritchie, yeah. Hugh
Yeah,
Grant,
yeah, that one.
Charlie Hunnam.
My mate's in it, yeah, Charlie.
All right. So is that related to the TV series?
It
I
is.
believe so, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a follow-on.
I've missed something there. I didn't realise that. I've only watched
Yeah.
the
I mean,
first
I'm gonna watch the
episode of
movie.
that
I still
series.
think
I'm
you
gonna
can
watch
watch
the
the
TV
series
show.
without having seen the movie. But
Can ya?
it's obviously
Okay.
it'll make a little bit more sense. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to watch the movie.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Love a good Guy Ritchie.
Well, and Jazz, do you have another?
Yes,
couple of
yeah, I
things
do.
ready?
Yeah, I've got
Yeah,
a
mate, 'cause,
couple ready
yeah.
there for you.
Just been as like Rye ruined.
Can I
one of
shout them out?
No,
No? Okay.
round the table. Round
All right,
the table.
here we go then.
Let's have that theme tune though.
Oh, you want the theme tune? The theme tune?
Oh, if you've got it.
Of course I
Yeah,
have. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Name That Theme.
just see
Some
you
absolute
run down
sexy
the
Saxon
stairs.
trumpets there.
Like Leslie Crowther.
Yes.
That's it. Leslie Crowther. Wow. There's a name from history. I love that. What did he present?
Daz Gamble, come on down.
Yeah, it was the Price is Right.
Price is right.
I thought that was Ted Rogers. No, Ted Rogers was 3-2-1, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Look at what you
I used to try and do that 3-2-1 thing he did with his fingers, but I ended up getting wrong off my mum.
Yeah.
Dusty
Price
Bin.
is right.
Yes.
The best one was
You
that.
never see Dusty Bin anymore, do you?
No.
No, they ran out.
His career was pretty short-lived, actually. Wasn't it? Anyway,
Rubbish.
we have a theme. Which one are you going to go for the movie theme, Daz?
I'm going for it now, yeah, and we're ready.
Let's have it.
All right, shout it out.
No.
There we go.
Oh, you
I think don't want to give too much away.
Before
Yeah.
the actual
No.
thing came.
I think that's enough. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that is. That's
This isn't
more
my
than
first
enough.
barbecue, you know.
No, it's not.
First Barbie.
Has turned a sausage. Has turned a sausage.
Okay, right. I don't know what to do with that line.
Barbecue.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah.
Angus and
Go on then,
mash.
Steve. Let's have Steve.
Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, do you know what? It does sound like Battlestar Galactica. It really does.
Oh,
I used Battlestar Galactica for one before. Nobody got it.
He did.
It's not
Can I have
Battlestar
a guess?
Galactica. It's a movie we're looking for. Go on then, Rye.
Yeah, there was a movie.
Star Trek?
Battlestar Galactica. But
Yeah,
that's,
there
There was actually. You're right. Yes. Sorry.
1970.
Sorry, Rye.
Is it Star Trek?
No,
It is
we'll
not.
give him a little bit more then, Ted.
Yes. Go on then.
Oh yeah. Come on.
Have you got it right?
Yep.
Go on then.
Oh, now I'm scared now. Or maybe I've gotten it wrong. Is it Indiana Jones?
It is not. It's the same composer though. So I can understand why you might have gone for that.
Yeah.
I'll give you clues. So I played this for Mrs. Ted last night as well because I don't know, it must be just boring.
Yes.
And she came out with Star Wars, which it isn't, but that's also
No,
the
it's not.
same composer.
It's got
One
that
more
kind of,
stab
like,
at it?
proper.
I don't think you're going to get
What's
it
this
from
little
that
bit?
bit.
What's this little bit?
It's John Williams, but what John Williams is it? Do you know what I mean?
All right. How can I give you a clue? How can I give you a clue?
Give me a year. Give me a year.
Oh, the year.
Yeah. Can you give me the year?
There are multiple years involved.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
1985, I think it was.
Or is it
When it started.
1955?
Yes.
Or
Oh,
is it
1855.
2000 and... Yes, exactly. Or is it in the
know
future?
It's Back to the Future.
It is Back to the
It's Back to
Future.
the Future. My goodness me. How did I not get that? I'm sorry, Michael J. Fox. I watch you so much as well. Oh, I'm embarrassed. It's Back to the... How did I... Oh, my God.
Barry
There's
got it
going
as
to be
well.
a reboot of this, you know.
I
Well
hate
done,
it
mate.
here.
Yeah, Alts has got it as well as Barry. Back to the
Very
Future.
good.
Well done. One of my favourite themes, that one.
Do you know they were talking about doing a reboot, and it was the
Really?
young lad who
Don't.
played Spider-Man. Come on,
Peter Parker.
English lad. Sorry,
Peter Parker.
Peter Parker. Don't give it away, Steve.
Oh, sorry.
He doesn't want anyone to know. Tom Holland. Tom Holland. was
You know,
supposed to,
in my head, I'm thinking
that'd be
Holland.
fantastic, that.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Tom
that'd be
Holland.
fantastic if he did that.
And then and Robert Downey Jr. potentially in the role of Doc Brown as well. Somebody had actually deep faked a trailer of it, believe it or not,
Really?
and it looks
Wow.
phenomenal. Go and find it on YouTube.
I still think
really
don't
good.
touch it. Just
Yeah,
leave
I
it.
agree.
Sometimes when
totally agree.
people remake, you know what I mean? Don't. Just leave it. It's great as it is. It's a tribute to Michael J. Fox. Don't.
First,
you know what I mean?
first two are just timeless classics. I love them.
Yeah,
The
they're
third one was
so
a little
good.
bit silly. It was just raking in
Still
the extra
good,
couple of dollars.
Still
but,
good. On the train.
Still good.
And,
Still watchable. But the first two were just fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Christopher Lloyd in that is just like
he's
off the
so
charts good.
I think Robert Zemeckis
Absolutely.
and Bob Gale, the writer, have both said that they would not allow it to happen.
Yeah, good.
And
Yeah.
Don't touch it.
I think that's right.
yeah. But
As much as Holland will be good, there is one more theme there, does it?
I agree.
there is, yeah. I'm here. Just whenever.
One last one, lads. One last one. Then we're going to crack on.
Okie dokie.
Is this TV?
It is TV. I've
I
got a
know what
weird
it
feeling
is,
you're
then.
going to get this one. I knew
what it
you would.
is.
This sounds like the entrance music to when you arrive home from work, Ted.
Yeah, Mrs. Ted plays this as he's coming down the drive.
I have arrived.
Down the drive. Do you think I live on some sort of
Bow to me.
country estate? Oh, I see you coming over the horizon now, the road.
Our Jack straight in there
Because
with the answer.
we're talking about cats this morning.
Very good,
well
Steve. Yes,
done.
Steve has got
Well
it. I want to see if Rye knows it.
Alt has got it
Nah, I
as
got
well.
nothing.
Oh, that's not the actual
Absolutely
tune, is it?
nothing.
There you go. I think we've heard enough of it now. Rye,
Yes.
have you got any idea?
Yes. That is Doctor Who.
Is this right? So this is your musical Mario Balotelli now, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
It is.
That's all we're
Shout
going
out
to
to
get
you,
when
Maddie.
you don't know the answer.
Yep, correct.
Steve, would you educate young Rye as to what this priceless, absolutely fantastic TV show is called?
It's Red Dwarf.
Yeah.
Fantastic work, mate. Fantastic work. Honestly, that is one of the most underrated TV shows of all time for me. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Well,
Great cast as well.
Our friend Matty has been back in touch, and you know Matty, friend of the stars now. He's got Red Dwarf, but he's got a claim here. He said it's Red Dwarf because it was me and Paul Jackson who took it to the BBC. So
Oh
there
my
you
God,
go.
Really?
You're too famous just to be a listener.
Yeah. I feel like... There we go.
So yeah, I want to know more about this goings on here, Matty.
We need Matty on the show.
Yeah, we need to get him
We
on.
absolutely
Yeah,
need Matty on the show. I want to talk to Matty, and I think Steve.
I think
will
Steve
too,
does
just
as well.
just to further his career.
I love you, Matty. but
No
I'll probably
ulterior
stay
motive
quiet.
there whatsoever. No,
Bring
Matty,
back Blake
get in
7,
touch.
Matty.
Yeah.
I think it would be good for you to have him on the show, Steve, on one of your days. When's your next day?
I don't know. Right, when's my next day, Mr. Organizer?
Tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
All right,
Steve's tomorrow.
thanks, mate. Thanks for the notice.
Right, Matty, we want you on the show tomorrow. Let us know if that's all right. We're gonna have a chat to you. Because that kills 10 minutes, doesn't
It can be
it?
Thursday. But it gives Steve an easier week.
I really, really want to talk to Matty because he sounds like he's got some background in TV and some of my favourites as well. Like, so that'll be good. Crack
Red
to have you on,
Dwarf was
Matty.
excellent, mate. Very good.
Oh, class up there with
We'll
Blackadder
have to
for
add
me.
that to
I
the
love
list 'cause
Blackadder
I've
and
never
Red
seen
Dwarf.
it.
It's
I've
another
seen
one to add to
Blackadder.
your list, mate.
I've seen
Brilliant.
Blackadder. Blackadder's
Silly
fantastic.
but brilliant. Blackadder for me, you know, as well as being brilliant comedy, that last ever one where it's like sort of, well, I think it's used for Remembrance Day and things like that now. It also had that serious element to it as well, which was just so well written and so well acted as well. Like, but yes, yeah, two of my absolute faves. Anyway, I think we're over to the Dazcopter, aren't we?
Live from the skies.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No.
Is who's that above you? It's Daz.
From Yarm to Yibby, Harrington to Horsley Hill, Swalwell to Silverlink. The North East Footy Breakfast with Roy, Steve and Ted.
Right across the northeast, the red, the tune and the cat.
Welcome back. Yeah, I mentioned at the top of the show, lads, it's 6 months actually to the day since I did my first show with you, which is just, I can't believe like how that time's flown over, and I can't believe how uncomfortable I still am around a microphone. But there you go. Not that anyone
how
can tell,
close
of
we've
course.
become, Ted. You know what I mean? How close we've become in 6
Well,
months.
this is true. Do you know what? And I know we joke and all that sort of thing, but it is mad how, like, sort of you develop a friendship with people over a short space of time like that, where it's kind of, you know, the one thing one of the things I look forward to about the show in the morning is literally getting me coffee and sitting down, having a big crack with the lads, talking about footy, talking about daft stuff like pets and Red Dwarf and all that sort of thing, and getting the input from the likes of Matty and Jack and all that kind of thing. Yeah. And it's mad how it almost becomes part of your day-to-day life. And it
does.
I always want to say it to you lads, and I know you feel the same. I've heard your interviews as well. It doesn't feel like we're working when we do this. It does when Dave tells you what you've got to say and when you've got to say it, and he tells you off if you don't.
That's
but you know,
Luke,
if you can edit that part out when it goes to the podcast, mate, that would be absolutely wonderful. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, I've had a few absolute worldy moments. Things like sort of you guys loving What the Fact and things like that when I bring a new idea to it and very nervously go about it. Oh, do you know what? That Christmas show, the Christmas Day show, is my absolute highlight so far.
Was a laugh.
Because that was brilliant. That was. I've listened to that back and kind of you can genuinely tell we just have a laugh with this. And it is good. And yes, there is some work goes into it. Believe it or not, we do try and organise a show for you to listen to. I know, right? Who'd have thunk that? But yeah, I mean, as a result of all that, I mean, the couple of watch-alongs that we've done. Obviously, the one in January wasn't so fun for me, Steve, and I know you were at the match, but I didn't particularly enjoy Newcastle thumping us 3-0 at the stadium, but we've had worse results since then.
Yes.
Doing the show with you lads, obviously, for the Borough game was an absolute treat. Being able to catch up with lads who I've known for a lot of years, and the charity walk and all that kind of thing, and get myself on YouTube and actually not completely messing it up. It has to be said, but dipping my toes into the world of social media with you lads has certainly been an education as well. But yeah, listen lads, for me personally, thank you for the last 6 months. I came into this absolutely not knowing a thing of what I was doing. You lads obviously have took me under your wing, and as much as we are rival fans of rival clubs, I really appreciate it, lads, because you've certainly helped me develop, and hopefully there's another good few months and maybe even years ahead of us as a team. But no, thank you very much, lads. It has been an absolute pleasure doing this for the last 6 months.
Absolutely fun.
Oh, it has.
So
really
anyway,
has. Thank you, Ted. That's really, really kind of you to say that.
Well, it's your fault. I may remember, Daz.
I know, and I keep having sweats about that. Thinking, did I do the right thing? But some days I think I did. So
I would love to have seen your face when, obviously, I mean, you know the story now, lads. That I was on Daz's show to do like a 5 to 10 minute section just talking about Sunderland, a little bit of pre-season stuff. And I mean, fast forward that to the very first time you heard me say the words "What the Fact." What was your reaction to that?
Look, Steve and I were pretty keen just to continue by ourselves, to be honest with you, at the start. There was lots of messages back and forth, and we said, I don't think this is going to work out. We said, and Dave said, look,
the other lad back.
It work. So, exactly.
Easy.
No, it was good. It was good.
No, it's an absolute pleasure, Ted. It really is.
Right from that, like you've said it before, we had that Skype call right before the show kicked off, didn't we? And we all sat down, we were all listening to Dave's ideas about the show and how he wanted it to look and all that sort of stuff. And right from that moment, we were just sort of already bantering, weren't we? We were laughing, and you could just tell that there was something there between us three lads for sure. And it's only blossomed. I think it's been fantastic.
Definitely has.
It really has.
Oh, it's class, and much more to come, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right, got a few WhatsApps in. You can WhatsApp the show 0330 2002. Our boss Dave has been in touch, and he said, "I've heard it." To a reference to what you said earlier, and this is nice. This is lovely from our Jack. He said it's like mates having a catch up in the morning. An international water cooler place. How lovely!
Really good way of putting it across. I
really
love
like
that, Jack.
Yeah, and Matty's been back in touch, although he hasn't taken us up on his on the live interview yet. But he said, "Remember Bottom." Yes, we do remember Bottom, of course. I went to the BBC with Paul and said, "Do you want the next Rick and Aid?" And the head of comedy said yes. We set up their offices to write it, but it almost never happened because the head of comedy said he didn't want it. He didn't want to have it called Bottom, and Rick and Aid turned around and told him yes, or we're not doing it. So there's some stories in this guy, isn't there?
There is.
Absolutely.
Not wrong.
Come on, Matty. Let us know when you're free, because we'd love to get you on the show, and we'll unpick your BBC brains and get a bit of BBC comedy history there from you. Fascinating stuff. Yeah. Loved Bottom.
Loved Rick Mail.
Rick,
mate, it was so well choreographed, and I mean some of the live shows as well. The theatre shows were just absolutely
insane,
incredible,
and sold
the
millions.
bloopers are as good as the show themselves.
Yeah. They sold millions on VHS as well. Those things, they were incredible.
VHS, wow.
Do you want to explain to a couple of the listeners what VHS is?
With the theme tune on cassette.
Honestly, I felt so old in the office last week because I actually said, I remember when I first had Netflix, it used to get delivered to your door.
Yeah.
And they're kind of looking at me going, what? And it's literally, I used to get DVD hire from Netflix.
Yes. Well, there was two companies, wasn't it? There was Netflix and there was another one whose name I can't remember. Yeah. Oh, Steve, you'll remember this one. It was in those early days of DVD rentals.
And Blockbuster.
But there was two that were mail order.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the name of the other one.
We had Blockbuster.
Is that the one where, like CDs when you used to order it and then they used to copy them and send them back?
No, that never happened.
No.
What
are you talking about?
Never.
No.
I'm sure that's not why Britannia Music Club went out of business.
No. That is not what we're talking about.
Good morning, Napster.
And Ofcom.
That's actually... yes. Our friends at the Ofcom office, have yourselves a great morning. I didn't realise Napster is actually back up and running again, but now it's a
really?
paid-for service.
It's legit, yeah.
Oh, wow. There you go.
How things change. Anyway, as we go into the last couple of minutes, lads, I did mention before, we're approaching the end of the season. Obviously, Sunderland players are pretty much already on the beach. A few others are as well. But, what's the ideal destination? Because you must have one eye on the end of the season now, lads. What you got planned? Where are you going from? Let's start with you.
I got to work. I got to put in the overtime during the break. I think I got to catch up on a bit of work, and I'm planning on trying to get to the Borough. If it's not at the end of the season, then it's the start of next season. So there might be a bit of travel there. But it's winter for me here, so it's not anything special. I'm bunkering down while you guys get to live it up in the sun. As sad as that is for me, but my international break or my off season is my winter. So we bunker down. We put in the overtime so that I can spend the mornings with you lads.
Oh, it's very kind of you. Yes. Steve, do you ever take any time off from doing loads and loads of things to actually enjoy your holiday?
I do, yeah. I mean, you've got to. Everybody needs a break. I mean, obviously, when you've got kids as well, it's slightly different. Mine are older now, but we do try to get away. If it's not, a holiday abroad, we try to get away somewhere in the UK. But it's just, really down to, collectively what everybody can do. Well, the missus has got to get time off, and then where the kids want to go has to come into it. You want them to be happy when they go on holiday. We've been to Tenerife quite a bit in recent years. Big news story, of course. Good morning, Britain, this morning. Should we boycott Tenerife? Because there's a few slogans come up. There's a few slogans come up on the island over the course of the last few weeks, saying that tourists go home, and not exactly great, is it? After they've been through COVID and trying to get people to go there, there seems to be a few of the locals don't want tourists coming to Tenerife. It's bizarre. It is, yeah. But I've got a trip away with the lads this year, which has been in for the lads go on a golfing trip. We always hire like a villa in Portugal, so we're going away for a few days to Portugal. Me and the lads, the football team, are ways to manage. So that's always a laugh. And I am planning a trip to America later this year. The missus doesn't want to go back. Me and one of my mates who I used to do security with in London years ago, we used to do close protection stuff with a lot of A-listers back in the day, and we've been plotting a visit to a couple of our brothers who live in New York. We might be going out there towards the end of the year and having 3 or 4 days out there, catch up with them. We haven't seen them for the best part of 25 years. We'll keep in touch with them on various forms of social media, but that could be another trip away. But as for the family, things are still very much up in the air, but we're definitely going to do something, I think, probably towards the summer with them.
Yeah.
So, Daz, you obviously none of the lads have mentioned coming to Cyprus to visit me yet in the sunshine. So
that's what I was hoping to do.
Happy just to leave me here.
Yeah, I was hoping to come and see Jeff in Lanzarote.
You come to visit your mate.
And then come across. I've actually got some friends who live down in the Estepona in the south of Spain, and we've been over to see them quite a few years. They came and, like yourself, settled down there and are loving life. So that's always just nice to go and catch up and just enjoy a bit of sunshine and do the south coast of Spain for a bit. But my boys are now 20, and they not really want to come on holiday, with mum and dad anymore. And it's like, it's a bit sad, really, because we used to have some good times together. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not complaining.
I'll go with you, Daz.
Yeah. Thank you. So I think it'll just be a childless holiday, because they're planning all sorts of stuff. Doing, I think one of them's doing like a little tour around Europe and going to some of the going to Germany and Prague and other places. And I went, "Wow, you're going to take in a Euros game?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we didn't realise Euros were on." It's like, give me strength. But I just need some sunshine. For me, I need some sunshine. I need to lay either in the sea or in a pool, look up at the blue sky, and then I'm chilled. That's me chilled. So I'm hoping to do a bit of that sunshine and
pina coladas.
Yeah, and obviously some alcohol to help me relax too.
That a boy. Of course, just a little bit. Yeah, why not? It's a mad one for me, because obviously when I get time off, the whole reason you move to a Mediterranean island isn't to go on holiday somewhere else. Obviously, yes, there's a big wide world out there, and I love the Greek islands anyway. I'd love to visit more of them, but by the time you sort of by the time we finish at the end of the season, Dave might let us have like half an hour off. It is, we kind of, what we do here is we go and find like a nice quiet beach somewhere, or we've got a pool at the apartment complex and that kind of thing, and literally we just sit and laze about, and we'll go and do things. We'll go and see different parts of the island and all that. But I kind of understand where Tenerife's coming from sometimes, Steve, because I like, as much as this sounds really awful, I do nothing but complain about English tourists. Literally, I mean, especially in Napa, they are just the worst, like absolutely the worst. But it's mainly the young kids who are like sort of being let off the leash for the first time. But most of them are absolutely lovely here, to be fair. Like, and it's a very chilled out place. And yeah, as far as getting any flights anywhere this summer, we ain't doing a thing. We have a lovely beach that we found that literally, if you see 6 people on it, that's the most you'll ever see on it. It's right out the way. It's just absolutely beautiful. So that's where I'm certainly planning for later on this year. And yeah, might get a couple of try and work in another trip to the UK. But by the
if Rye's coming over as well, we've got to get the gang together. We've got to look at that.
We really do. Well, if I do come over, I'm stopping by Cyprus. Yeah. If he can't make it over, I'm definitely stopping by Ted's place for a pina colada and a hug from Stelios. And a Barbie. And a Barbie. But yeah, no, I'm going to...
He'll turn his sausage. Alts has been in touch on the WhatsApp. Ionian Islands, top destination, he said. And Matty's been back in touch because we've asked him to come on the show. And he said, I'll see what I can do. I'm busy this week, unfortunately, but I will come on, as I was actually going to get help. I was going to get the new Bottom series done before Rick died. Went to the BBC and it looks as though they were going to do like a care home Bottom in wheelchairs hitting each other with colostomy bags and the usual slapstick. So that's Matty. Matty, come on the show, man. We need to hear these stories for real. Yeah, let us know when you're free because we'd love to have a chat with you about those. And that's it, guys. First one back. It's really, yeah, we've missed you. We've missed you being
well done,
well done. Nice to be back. Should we do it again tomorrow?
It's a good one. It was lovely.
Yeah, do it again tomorrow. Yes. Go on then.
Yeah, all right, go on.
Have a lovely Tuesday. Have a good one. I had to think. Take it easy, boys. And if you missed the show this morning, you can listen again via the podcast, or it'll be repeated this afternoon between 4 and 6 across the network. We're up next with all the usual mid-morning nonsense, but have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday, guys. Take it easy.
From Wickham to Whitley Bay, Stonygate to Shields, Doggy to Darlow Backlane, Steve, Ted and Rye, the North East Footy Breakfast.
Right across the North East, the Red, the Tune and the